and I've been partying all week. I'm just ready to hold on. Let me get a sip here.
How many cups do you have there?
I have a lot. I got triple cup today. I'm celebrating.
It seems everything that Diego just said ruined my freaking week last week. Both of these teams, and now we got to sit here and look at Derrick smile with his chain on because of the. I dug deep this week. Last week I didn't want to come on too strong and just take over all of a sudden. Then you guys probably went and invited me back this week, and y'all have been salty, so I couldn't just come on and just take over right away. I wanted to get invited back this week.
Now I've got house money. Now I'm picking all kind of stuff. I'm doing some wild picks this week.
Yeah,
I am making it official now. I am jumping off the bandwagon. I am off the Bengals bandwagon. It's official breaking news. I am picking the Panthers.
Dude, you need to be tested, man. you need to get tested if you think that the Panthers are going to go in Cincinnati and beat the Bengals. There's no comment now.
No comment.
I have the Bengals.
All right. You got the legend of Heineke is going to grow. I've got Heineke in the upset for this one as well.
So, Diego, I want you to check your dad cup, right? See if he's pouring too much Heineken in there with all this talk. Right? Yeah, because as he drink more Heineken in there, this Heineke legend keeps growing in his mind. This is former Chicago Bear Desmond Clark. And y'all hear me on many podcasts, but when y'all hear me on Pick'em Pros, y'all know it's all about family. This ain't just business.
We're coming back tonight. We're going to tie it up 2-2, go back to Golden State, then 3-2, and then we're going to control the series.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know who it is. I am Derrick Thompson.
And I'm Diego Thompson.
And who are we?
We're the Pick'em Pros.
We are the Pick'em Pros coming at you, father and son, dynamic duo with our new show, Who You Got, our NFL edition of Who You Got right now, where we are picking all the games every single week and also talking about a few hot topics. We are coming off of week 8 of the NFL season. We're going to recap that a little bit, go into week 9 as we have some exciting matchups, make our picks once again. And we also have that man, Desmond Clark, coming back, former great tight end for the Chicago Bears. He is back with us again. He joined us last week, made some picks with us, and he's back for more punishment, man. Can you believe he's coming back?
Man, yeah, I can't believe it, man. But he just coming back to see. I see it if I can beat him. Trying to redeem myself from last week.
All right. We're gonna see if we can redeem yourself. Well, we had a great time. As you can see, I'm sporting this chain because the winner of every week gets to rock the chain. So I have the honor of wearing the chain this week. So last week there were 15 games. Last week. And I went 11-4. Des went 10-5. You went 9-6. So that's why I'm rocking the chain here. But Des will be joining us shortly. But before we get into that, again, this is where we pick all the games, and we are picking for a good cause. So between my son and I, the winner of us, we get $2,500 that goes to our cause, and the loser gets $500 that goes to their cause. So, Diego, who you playing for this regular season, my man?
I am playing for the Eat.Learn.Play Foundation in Oakland by Steph and Ayesha Curry.
All right. That's what you are playing for. So funds will go to your cause no matter what. I am playing for the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy out of Detroit, Michigan, an amazing school up there. That's who I'm playing for. So funds are going to go to both no matter what. The end of this regular season. We'll see who gets what. So we're excited about that. So great cause, my man. And If you have not already, please subscribe to our channel. We're almost at 1,000, just a few subscribers away. So please help us to get to that mark and way, way, way beyond. So thank you for your love and support. We appreciate all the subscribers and all the comments going back and forth. We love going back and forth with you. And we are also on all the podcast platforms. So wherever you get your podcast, you can find us, Pick'em Pros, Who You Got. We are on there as well. All right. Well, let's get into, again, our week 8. Go into where we were right, where we were wrong before we bring Des on. We'll bring Des on in just a second. But, Diego, we have our graphics that show our picks from last week. So let's touch on that real quick, all right?
All right, let's do it.
All right. So let's pick up. We'll pick mine up. We go with whoever had the most right first. So we'll pick mine up. Oh, my goodness. Look at all that. So those of you listening, we're showing our graphic, showing our picks. So, again, I went 11-4. The signature wins. I said Russ was going to cook. Told y'all he did it. He earned all his money in this one game. I don't know what Denver's going to do for the rest of the season, but I did feel strongly that they were going to get that win last week. They got that one. That one helped me. The Commanders with the last-second drive or last-minute drive, the legend of Heineke grew. That helped me a lot. Those were two that really helped get me over the hump. So I was really happy and proud of those. So we'll take that graphic down. And then, Diego, let's pull your graphic up. Again, you're 70-52 overall. So you have a good percentage overall. You went 9-6. Any signature wins or any moments you want to talk about from last week, week 8?
Yep. I want to talk about that Vikings over Cardinals one, because even though you picked the Vikings to win the division and they were at home, you still picked the Cardinals, who hadn't really been playing well this year. And I told you that the Vikings were going to pull that one out.
I got that one wrong. The Cardinals almost pulled it out, but they did not. The Vikings held on to that. I should have gone with the Vikings there. I did pick them to win the division. I think that's already set, so I'm not in any danger there. I feel like they have a couple of games to play with, just like I do in our matchup. So, the Cardinals have D-Hop. They're playing better. Think they're going to make a little run here, but I was just a week too late there. Think they're going to start to make their run now. So we'll see what happens there. So you got me on that one. But I am still celebrating. I've got the 4-game cushion. You had me by 3 games a few weeks ago. I told you I was going to do the LeBron chase down block, pin the ball against the backboard. And now I've got house money. Now I'm picking all kind of stuff. I'm doing some wild picks this week. So
there's a lot of season left, man. You can't be bragging right now, like at the midway, but we still got like over half the season left.
Oh, it's over. It's over. As far as picking goes, it's over. The seasons you might as well be over. Matter of fact, you know what? I wouldn't hold it against you. If you want to stop right now, we can just stop and we can keep picking, but we actually won't even keep score. I won't hold it against you.
Oh no, that would actually be a disadvantage for me, because then I'd be just chasing you down and you wouldn't even know it. So that would actually be kind of sad for you. You know what I mean?
Oh man, no, man. Well, you know what though? But no, seriously though, we had a great time this weekend. The Man Cave watching the games. We have some funny clips that will show that Panthers game. You were almost right. You were on the island with the Panthers game. They should have beat the Falcons. They had that penalty with DJ Moore had that penalty. It actually shouldn't have been a penalty because we see he was out of bounds when he took his helmet off. But that really messed you guys up. And the Panthers would they be leading the division if they won that game?
Yeah, because they were already 2-0 in the division. So if they won, they would have been 3-0 and then had the same record as everyone else. So they would have had the tiebreaker. But I still think even if we had like a regular sized extra point, we would probably still miss it because our kicker was just horrible. He missed that, and then he had another chance from a reasonable distance, and he missed it.
He did miss the field goal.
He missed 2.
Did you happen to see him miss the field goal?
No, I didn't see it at all.
Oh, he missed it! How?
No,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
never saw it.
We won't relive that. All right. Oh man, but no, that was a lot of fun. It's gonna be fun this week. So we sent I sent the video to Dez after the early game on the Broncos winning. And he didn't say anything. He was quiet. And then he had a video ready for me if the Lions were going to win. And he almost sent it, but then he waited until after the game, and the Lions ended up losing. So he did not send what he was going to send. But I'm curious. I actually want to see what happens if he gets one of these wins, what he's going to do, because I know he's ready to hit us with something. So, you know, he's a competitive guy. So we got the competitive juices flowing with them. So
yeah,
a lot of it's a lot of fun. All right, man. Well, hey, this is gonna be fun. I've got some picks here that are gonna be controversial, but I think I've got a feeling on some of these. So again, these are some heat check picks. We're gonna see. We want to see if my Panthers can shock the world this week. Can they get the upset as well as some others? So you ready to bring Dez on and go head to head with him and see where we fall?
I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's bring him in.
All right, man. We'll come on over here and we'll pipe him in.
All right, gotcha.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You have the triple D's here. We've got Desmond Clark, aka Dez. You've got Diego. You've got myself, Derrick. We are back, ready to. We have to recap last week because you already know. You already see. Oh man, who's wearing the chain here? So you know I've got to gloat a little bit. I'm hot. I'm gonna have some heat check picks. I've been celebrating. I've been partying all week. I'm just ready to hold on. Let me get a sip here.
How many cups do you have there?
I have a lot. I got triple cup today. I'm celebrating.
It seemed like the same amount of cups Diego had last week when when Carolina missed that field goal
after that Panthers loss. Oh man, Woo, that was rough. That was rough, man.
Felt bad for you, man. You look heartbroken. Yeah. I really didn't feel that bad though.
Never bet on the Panthers. That's my lesson.
That's your lesson. All right. We're gonna see. Well, we thank you again for coming back. We really enjoyed picking with you last week. We also enjoyed the banter back and forth throughout Sunday as the games were going on. So that was a whole lot of fun. And we know you are ready to come back and get some revenge on us. But we know you're focused and ready to go.
Oh, absolutely. I dug deep this week. Last week, I didn't want to come on too strong and just take over all of a sudden. Then, you know, you guys probably went and invited me back this week, and y'all have been salty. So I couldn't just come on and just take over right away. I wanted to get invited back this week.
Okay. That was a good strategy. Well, that strategy worked. That definitely worked. So happy to have you back and ready to get on into these picks. So before we get into we have 13 games this week. A lot of teams are on by 13 games this week. We agree on 7. So we'll go into those 7 that we agree on. Diego, my man, you're on an island for 2 games, just like you were last time. So you will explain yourself on those 2. I'm on the island for 3. I have some upset special picks. And then our guy Dez here is on the island for 1, like last week as well. But before we get into that, let's recap last week just a little bit, one last time. So,
man, I think we should just move on.
No.
It's a new week, fresh week.
We have to go. We have to talk. We have to, talk about the past just a little bit.
Diego, some people live in the past all their life.
Yeah.
We've got to go in the week 8. Hold on, let me get another sip here. We've got to go into week 8. So I went 11-4. I should have been 12-3. I went 11-4 this week. I had a really good week. Dez, you went 10-5. Diego, you went 9-6. So like I said, I knew Russ was gonna cook. because of that just started the day just beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, just early.
That's the one that put you over the top.
That did. That really did. So as I said, he earned his $250 million all in that game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. May not get much else for the rest of the year, but he at least got me the win. So he did his job as far as I'm concerned. So I was thrilled about that. The legend of Heineke continued to grow, although Des and I both picked that. So your Colts, again, no matter how you pick on the Colts, the opposite happens.
Okay, that was a really interesting game because the Colts had the lead like the last seconds, and then some things happened at the end of the goal line. Some lucky things.
Lucky things.
So, yeah.
All right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then
some people, you call it luck. Some people just call it winning.
All the winning. Yeah. Heineke again, the legend. Again, I kept saying through that whole drive, grow the legend, and the legend continue to grow. Will the legend continue to grow this week? We will see. And then I do have to mention before we move on to this week ahead, the Saints. Oh man, that one felt good. Shutout. I mean, again, shout out to our super fan Henry. See, Henry, the jinx is broken. I went on an island. I picked the Saints and they won. The jinx is officially gone now. So we're good.
Man.
Yeah. All right.
That was the one that was like totally unexpected. Not just that the Saints won, because any given Sunday any team can win, but 27-0.
Right.
I mean, that was totally unexpected.
Yeah. The Raiders had Adams and all their guys there.
Yes. And then in fantasy, because that really messed you up. I mean, what did he score in fantasy for you?
Like 0.2 points. I mean, he only had 2 receiving yards the whole game.
I mean, you would never expect that. You would never expect that. So before we go with, Des, speaking of that, with that move, do you think that he regrets going to the Raiders? You think he just needs more time, or what do you think the thought process is for?
Well, the coach is McDaniels, right?
Right.
Josh McDaniels. So I haven't watched the Raiders this year. So I don't know what's really going on out there. Do I think he regrets it? He got almost 200 million reasons why he don't regret it.
Right. Yeah.
But I think you got to look at the head coach again. He flopped once when he was the head coach in Denver.
Yes.
And now he's supposed to be this offensive juggernaut of a coach, and he has all those weapons out there, and they're not really putting up any type of numbers to show that he's that good of an offensive head coach. Right. So that's where I'll start at, and then on down to the rest of the individuals on the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense with McDaniels. I mean, and even those years with the Patriots, everything just was dink and dunk. I mean, I never thought that Brady obviously, kept them afloat, but I never felt that their offensive play calling was, spectacular then. So I never really understood the hype around McDaniels. But yeah, great point. Well, let's get into our picks. We're going to have a lot of fun picking these. So let's dive right into it. So we have our 7 again that we agree on. Diego, my man, you ready to kick us off?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So we have the Thursday night game, the Eagles at the Texans. Oh, man, this will be an interesting one. Who do we have in this one?
Is it going to be interesting?
Oh, man, this one's a nail biter, man. You never know, man. But
Thursday night thriller.
But, yeah, this is a matchup between arguably the best team in the NFL against arguably the worst team in the NFL. But we have the Eagles. That they are 7-0.
Mm-hmm.
They are going on the road, but I mean, the Texans, they've only won 1 game this year, and lost to the Titans last week. And Derrick Henry ran like over 200 yards and like 30 carries.
Ooh,
so I think the Eagles will probably blow these guys out.
Yeah, he went crazy. I think he had 3 touchdowns as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly for my former head coach out there, and it's like I'm repeating myself every week. Yeah, man. This is not going to be a game. I don't care if they are playing on the road. Philadelphia is going to go in there and win by at least a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. Not much else to say there. I don't think there'll be many additional Amazon Prime subscriptions from this game. Maybe they'll capitalize next week, but
next week the Panthers play on Thursday Night Football.
Oh man, they just
play
on
the Falcons.
Oh man, on the road.
So for the next 2 weeks, there's not going to be any more subscriptions.
Not going to be anything, right? Exactly. All right. So the second game out of 7 that we agree on, we have the Miami Dolphins traveling to Chi-Town, Chicago, play Dez's old Bears. Who do we have in this with, Diego?
Well, sorry, Dez, your Bears are not going to win today. Well, I mean, the Dolphins.
I agree with you. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, the Dolphins are loaded. They got Tyreek, arguably best receiver in the NFL. I mean, two is back, Waddle, and then they got the trade. They got Bradley Chubb from the Broncos to add to their defense. And then the Bears just gave up another one of their defensive players. They gave up the linebacker for another great defensive player for a 6th-round pick. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like they probably need to get more for the guys that they're trading. But so I got the Dolphins winning. They're probably going to win by a couple scores.
Yeah, I was to see what the Bears are doing right now. I was kind of shocked, but then I do understand it. They know that they're not going anywhere this year. So they got the highest cap next year. So the highest cap number as far as spending. So I think they're just trying to get these draft picks and looking at all that money that they got last year, and they're going to use that to add some free agents. But right now, with them going into rebuild mode, this is going to be a terrible game for them on Sunday. I think they're demoralized from the trades that they made over the last couple of weeks, and I think you're going to see this Miami team put up some pretty gaudy numbers.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. I think this game can get out of hand with that high-powered offense that Miami has. Let's move on to the third game out of 7. We have the Green Bay Packers, Dez's guys, going to Detroit to play the mighty Detroit Lions at home, who have grit, grind, and all that good stuff. Diego, who do we have in this one, man?
Yeah, well, I wanted to pick the Lions, but I mean, they just fail. I mean, people so many times. I mean, they just can't finish games. They've had leads. They had a lead against the Dolphins, the explosive Dolphins, and then they blew it. They had a lead against the Cowboys 2 weeks ago, and they blew it. So I mean, I don't think they're gonna do. And even though the Packers are struggling, I think the Packers can go in there and beat the gritty Lions.
Yeah, gritty and all of those other terms. You use all that you want to. If you don't get no wins, it means nothing. And they're not getting any wins, although they're putting up numbers. I mean, I wanted to pick the Detroit Lions so bad again this week.
Yeah.
But the other team got Aaron Rodgers, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I wanted to pick the Lions as well, but I just couldn't do it. I would have been so upset if I picked them and they lost this. So, I think we all have the Packers on this one. All right. So the fourth game out of 7 that we agree on, we have the Indianapolis Colts, Diego's guys, the team that keeps going the opposite way of every way you pick. But we're all on the same team this time, so maybe we'll get it right this time. They travel to New England to play the Patriots. Who do we have in this one?
Man, I mean, the Colts are just so bad, man. It's just crazy. They benched Matt Ryan. They brought in the new quarterback.
Yep.
He's not horrible, but it's just the whole offense. It's they traded the backup running back, Naheem Hines. So now it's Taylor's got to do all the work again, and now he's already got banged up this year, and he seemed to not putting up the same numbers as last year. Then the Patriots, they played well last week against the Jets, who were on a little hot streak. So I have the Patriots.
Right.
Yeah, man. Indianapolis Colts, they they're a tough team to pick because you never know what you're going to get with them. And I think they're still trying to find their identity. They were a run-first, tough defensive team, and right now they don't have any of that going for them.
Yeah, I agree. Colts are not looking good. A lot of turmoil there. I don't know if the coach is going to make it through this season. So that's also another factor. They're playing musical chairs with the quarterback. So that's definitely an L. Belichick will get another one towards his pursuit of having the most wins ever. It's probably about 2 or 3 years away from getting that. All right. Well, the fifth game that we agree on, we have the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. They're back from London, where it was a home away from home. They had the home field advantage and gave that away to Russ. Man, we going with the Jags again this week, or we going with the Raiders? Who we going with?
All right, man. So first of all, the only reason why the Jags game was a home game was because they had to have a home game in London because they have no fans in their own city. So I just had to get that out the way. And then I just don't want to pick this game in total because these are two teams that just messed up my whole week last week.
Yeah.
The Raiders getting blown out by the Raiders and the Saints, and then the Jaguars losing the tough one to Russ cook and the Broncos.
Cooked.
But I do have the Raiders. They still do have Adams.
Mm-hmm.
They have Carr. They have Jacobs, and I think they're gonna go on the road to Jacksonville and win this.
Yeah, everything that Diego just said ruined my freaking week last week. Both of these teams, and now we got to sit here and look at Derrick smile with his chain on because of these two teams right here.
Yeah,
I'm picking a tie. I'm picking a tie for this one because I don't want to see either one of them win. But we gotta go at Vegas.
I like that. That would be amazing to pick a tie. You should actually get like double wins if you pick the tie and actually hit.
I might just pick a tie for every Colts game for the rest of the year.
That's a great point. All right. I don't even have to add anything to that one. Oh, that's great. All right, let's go to the sixth one. 6 out of 7. We have the Tennessee Titans traveling to Kansas City to play the Chiefs Sunday night. Who do we have in this one?
KC, they're coming off a bye. They played before that. They blew out the Niners. The Niners looked good last week with the McCaffrey throwing, running, and receiving a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, and are one of the best teams in football. They're at home, and even though the Titans, they got Henry, he got 200 yards last week. I feel like they can push through with their high-powered offense.
Yeah, Coach Andy Reid coming off a bye, his record is something like 85-90% win percentage. So I think the beat keeps going, and they're gonna come off of this bye with another victory against a pretty decent team in Tennessee. I think it's gonna be a good game, but Kansas City have too much firepower, and they had an extra week to prepare for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, great point about Andy Reid's record coming off a bye. So, yeah, I think they'll definitely get this. They're at home, primetime game, all the makings for them to show out and for Mahomes to keep making his case for MVP. So, good game coming up there. All right, and then the 7th game out of 7, the last one that we agree on before we get to some disagreements, we have my Baltimore Ravens are traveling to New Orleans to play the Saints. Diego, who do we have in this one?
We do have the Ravens. They are a little hot streak. They've won back-to-back games. They beat the Browns, and then they beat the Bucks on Thursday Night Football on the road. Now they have to go on the road again in another primetime game to play the Saints. And even though the Saints blew out the Raiders last week, I don't know how good the Raiders are. And the Ravens have had some tough challenges and have played well of recently. So I'm going with the hot team, the Ravens.
Yeah, their quarterback is unbelievable. He's one of those players that is almost impossible to stop. He can stop himself, but I don't think anybody can stop him. And I think that's going to be the difference in the game.
Yeah, Lamar is just outstanding, and just I think they use that term, he just wins a little too much with some quarterbacks because a lot of times it's the team. But I think that really relates to Lamar. Like, I feel like if, they're within a touchdown, he's going to find a way to pull it out. It's just an amazing quarterback and has great intangibles. Love everything about him and them. So definitely have the Ravens over the Saints. So we all agree on that. Last week we went 7-1 on the games that we agreed on. So we'll see if we can keep that same percentage or even better. See if we can nail all of these. So that's where we are on the agreements. Now let's get to the others and see where we're on islands. So Diego, you have 2 games where you're on the island. I have 3. Des, you have 1. Diego, we're going to start with you, my man. So we have the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Atlanta to play the Falcons. Man, and I'm a little shocked on the team that I think you have in this one. Who you have?
Get it.
All right, man. So I'm going with the Falcons. Okay, let me tell you why. So the Chargers, I just can't really pick them because they got some injuries. Like Keenan Allen's been out a couple weeks, and he might not play this week. I don't know. He not at practice. He might play, but I don't know for sure. Then the other receiver, Mike Williams, isn't playing either. So they're out their top 2. So they're out their top 2 receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And then they lost to Seahawks and the Browns and like some teams that they probably should have beat.
Mm-hmm.
But the Falcons are on a hot streak right now. I mean that they beat the Panthers in a tough one at home, and I feel like they can do the same with the Chargers.
They are number 1. They number 1 in your division.
Yeah.
Wow, they are.
The Panthers could have actually led the division if they won that game. But instead they blew it, and now they're in last place.
Wow.
In the worst division in football.
I don't know if you ever heard this, Diego. You was talking about the Carolina Panthers if they would have won, but if was a fifth, we'll all be drunk. later on in life, you'll know what that means. But all I heard here was, you know what, the Atlanta Falcons, they beat up my best friend. So since they beat up my best friend, I'm gonna roll with them now because that's the only thing it could be. Who picks the Atlanta Falcons over the LA Chargers? Come on, man.
Chargers got some injuries. They're out their top 2 receivers. That's it.
Yeah. I've got the Chargers. I feel that they I think it's a must win. I mean, they have to win this game. I mean, they were supposed to be good this year. They've lost some games that you can argue they should have won. I feel that if they're gonna have any chance of coming back and trying to make a run at the playoffs, and if Herbert is going to stay in that conversation as one of the better quarterbacks in the league, I think this is a game they have to have.
Yeah, I think they get it, though. I mean, Atlanta, they won against, some Carolina team that's not that great. And I don't believe in Atlanta at all. They're going to struggle offensively, trying to throw the ball just like they do every week. They may run the ball decent like they do, but I think the Chargers still can put up points even though their top 2 receivers are down. I think they'll still score some points and outscore Atlanta.
All right. So that's the first one where you're on the island. Now you have the second one where you're on the island here. You have your Los Angeles Rams, the team that you picked to go to the Super Bowl, the team that you wanted to pick to win the Super Bowl.
I did not
but
want
you
to
just
pick
didn't
to win the Super Bowl.
Just didn't lean into it. You have them traveling to Tampa to play Brady and the Bucks. Who do you have in this one?
Yeah, well, I got the Rams winning. The only reason they lost to the Niners was because, McCaffrey's just amazing, which we all know. And they have a history of losing to the Niners. They got swept. I think they've got swept by the Niners in the regular season, like a couple of years in a row. So, I mean, so that's just their issue. I guess it's just a bad matchup. Yeah, but the Buccaneers, I mean, they're 3-5. They're struggling. I mean, they almost have the same record as the Panthers. So, I mean, and they're not a good team. And so, I mean, but then the Rams, and they play good competition too. They their losses came like the Cowboys, the Niners twice. So I got the Rams winning.
Yeah, it's a long trip all the way across country. down to the southeast in Tampa. And you know what? Brady's been getting beat up a lot. And
Yeah.
I think the guy, he's the most competitive athlete in sports right now. I think he finds a way to get this team headed back in the right direction, because this is something I don't think he's ever been through. And I don't think he's going to let it ride. I think he's going to right the ship down in Tampa. Although it's going to be a tough one. That long trip across the United States is going to take its toll on the Rams, and Tampa get this victory.
Right. Yeah, I have Tampa as well. So this was a tough one to pick because I've picked the Bucs a lot this year, and they messed me up. So I was reluctant to pick this, but I am going with the home team. I did think about that trip, and the Rams have also just blown a lot of games this year. So this was a little bit of a coin flip for me this week, but I'm with you, Des. I'm going with the Bucs. Diego, you're on the island, so you're either going to gain some ground or lose some ground with this. So we're going to see where this shakes out here. All right. Well, now we're going to get to the 3 games where I am on the island. So I'm doing my heat check, coming off of that amazing win last week, and just celebrating.
All right. Enough about last week. Move on.
You looking in the past.
Move on already.
Oh, yeah, move on. Exactly.
I've got some heat check games this week where I'm just going to elevate because I have some room to play with. I got some wiggle room to play with. So we're going to see just how high it's like. You make a couple threes, then you pull up from the logo. So I've got some logo shots here just to see how hot I am.
Are we talking about football or basketball here?
Okay,
I was getting confused there for a second.
Heat check.
It is basketball season now, so I thought that maybe you was switching it up.
It is.
Picking Pros basketball edition tonight.
We do have that. Yeah, we do post all that basketball as well. All right. So here we go. But we're still NFL week 9. Carolina Panthers. My Panthers here. Yeah. Oh, can't see. I'm sorry. My chain is blocking it. But I am wearing the military edition Panthers hoodie here. All right. We've got Carolina Panthers traveling to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Yeah, to play the Bengals. The team that I've been on. I am making it official now. I am jumping off the bandwagon. I am off the Bengals bandwagon. It's official breaking news. I am picking the Panthers for the upset.
Okay.
They're going.
Do you still have the Bengals winning the Super Bowl?
No, do not have them win the Super Bowl.
Oh, you're switching.
No, they're not going to win the Super Bowl.
Switch.
Not going to win the Super Bowl.
Switch it.
Panthers are going to go to Cincinnati. Shout out to Shannon Cross. I know you're going out there to watch the game. Panthers are going to get this game in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's falling apart. They're struggling even more with without Chase, and the Panthers are going to shock the world. I love what they're doing right now. I love the new coach, the interim coach. The defense is stepping up. They're going to bounce back from that heartbreaking loss, and they're going to get the win and shock the world.
Sound like a lot of hoping and wishing. That's all I heard. Man, I hope they win. I wish they win. I want to keep my lead over Diego, so I'm praying that they win. But you don't really feel like they're going to win. You can't. Cincinnati hadn't been playing really, really good over the last week or so, but they just got too much talent for this Carolina team. I'm going with Cincinnati. And this week, Carolina, you got a couple more, but this week, going 2 for 2. Well, you can't go for 2. You went 2 for 2 on the island last week, right?
Yeah, right. That's right.
And you was able to stay ahead. Your picks this week ain't gonna keep you ahead this week.
Next, watch. Next, you guys gonna be like, "How in the world? How did he make these picks and they hit?" Y'all, for real, y'all might give up after this. For real, this is really gonna shock you. Really gonna shock you. You have anything to add on this one? For your Pepsi, it's supposed to be your team.
Yeah, whatever, man. Dude, you need to be tested, man. You need to get tested if you think that the Panthers are going to go in Cincinnati and beat the Bengals. There's no comment, man.
No comment.
I got the Bengals.
All right, you got the Bengals. Man. I love it. Well, hey, if you think that one was crazy, let's go to the second one. All right, we have the juggernaut, the Buffalo Bills, the team that everybody think is unbeatable, although they already lost. Are traveling to New York to play the team that people think is overrated, right? Too much hype about. Had some lucky wins, the New York Jets. I am picking the upset. I am taking the New York Jets to also shock the world and beat the Buffalo Bills. That secondary is fast. They are able to stop the pass. In order to beat the Jets, you have to run the ball. The Buffalo Bills, outside of the quarterback, are not able to do that. I think this is a matchup that works favorably for the Jets. They're going to shock everybody, shut that pass, keep that pass contained. I'm not going to say they're going to shut the pass down. They're going to keep it contained enough that home crowd will be in it. They're going to shock and bounce back and be back on the winning side. I got the Jets. What do you guys think of that one?
Go ahead, Diego.
What do you have in this triple cup, man? What's in there, man? I don't know, man. Okay, the Bills are gonna win this. The Bills are gonna win the Super Bowl. There's no, and they're good at everything. You say they're just a quarterback team. They can run, they can pass. Their defense is good. I can't believe it.
Well, I didn't say their quarterback team. I said their quarterback's the only one that can run. That's what I was saying. But go ahead.
Oh, they have running backs.
They have running backs on the roster.
The first thing you have to say about the Jets is, their DBs are fast.
Yeah, Sauce. Ooh, boy. Sauce is going
sauce it up.
You know his last name?
Just no
you
sauce.
Know what?
That's all I need to know is sauce.
This pick is not as crazy as your Carolina pick. I think the New York Jets are a solid team. They're just playing against a better team. So therefore that's why I picked Buffalo. But yeah, this pick is not as crazy as the Carolina pick, I don't think.
It's arguable. You could
All
argue.
Right. All right. So we're gonna see what happens here. We got these two, and then we have one more where I'm on an island. We have the Minnesota Vikings, the team that I bet against last week. I should not have. I was wrong on that one. But I have to go against them again one more time because they are playing the legend of Heineke. The legend grew last week in that comeback win, that last-minute drive that they had. He is going to do it again. Going to have a last-minute drive at home against the Minnesota Vikings. The legend of Heineke is going to grow. I've got Heineke in the upset for this one as well.
So, Diego, I want you to check your dad cup, right? How long have you been around your dad tonight? A couple hours?
Yeah.
Yeah. See if he's pouring too much Heineken in there with all this talk. Right? Yeah, because as he drink more Heineken in there, this Heineke legend keeps growing in his mind, but only in his mind. You didn't learn your lesson from last week about Minnesota. They're gonna learn you this week, though. They're gonna learn you this week.
We're gonna see. Now, if they do, then okay, I'm done. I'm gonna go with them. I got to go against them one last time.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Dude, so you picked the Vikings to win the division.
Yeah, and that's set. That's already locked in.
Okay, you picked them to be like the 3. Okay, I know
I was right about that.
Okay, they're gonna win the division. Okay, but dude, the Commanders are bad. Dude, yes,
they're 4-4. How are they? They're not that bad.
They beat the Colts. Congrats, man. Congrats, you beat the Colts. And the Vikings, they have Jefferson. Oh, and then they brought in the tight end from the Lions.
But
he's
hey,
good.
If they've been playing Heineke the whole year, they'd probably be above 500. The reason why they're just 500 is because they were playing Wentz.
Wentz
listen, they beat the Bears. They beat the Colts. They beat the Packers. And they lost to the Lions. I'm sorry. And they beat the Jaguars. I mean, come on. Those are not 4 quality wins.
They're gonna do. I believe in Ron Rivera. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. And now, Snyder, they're talking to Bank of America about a potential sale of the team. So yeah, there's some good things happening in the nation's capital.
All right. I don't know if it's Heineke or Heineken.
All right. So those are my Island Heat Check picks this week. My 3 upset specials. That's what I'm going with. And then we're going to end off, Des, again with the game that you are on an island on, my man. We have the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Arizona to play Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Who you got?
Have you guys seen Arizona play this year?
Yes, we have. We've seen D-Hop come back, and he's been on fire.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Back-to-back 100-yard.
Yeah. 3 and 5. I told you last week, right? About Kyler Murray. He didn't get his 4 hours of studying in. And they lost.
Yeah,
and again this week, if he don't get 10 hours in, they're gonna lose again. And he's only contracted to get 4. So you do the math.
Yeah.
So I have Seattle, who is a really, really good team and have probably the quarterback that's playing some of the best football in the NFL right now. I like this team. I like the fact that they were underdogs. I like the fact that they're riding this wave right now. I think they're going to ride this wave all the way to the playoffs and surprise somebody probably in the first round of the playoffs. So I'm going with Seattle. I mean, they got my man K9 out there, Kenneth Walker, who was at Wake Forest before he went to Michigan State.
All right.
A good move for him because Wake Forest offense wasn't really suited for his running style. So he went to Michigan State and exploded. And now, man, he's out there in Seattle and he's making things happen as a running back. So they got the running game, they got the passing game. And I see Seattle just not winning this game, but winning a lot of games this year.
Yeah, I agree. Seattle's a good team. I thought they were going to be tanking this year before the season started. And it took a couple games for me to be a believer in Seattle. So I am a believer in Seattle. I've gotten a couple games off you this year off of picking Seattle. So I do believe in Seattle. I think this is a game where they kind of trip up. I do think they'll make the playoffs. I agree with everything that you said. I think this is one that they slip up a bit. I think it's one that Arizona is going to step up and play more to their potential. And I think they sneak a win in here. What do you think, Diego?
All right, man. So the Seahawks are a good team. They are a good team. The last time the two teams played, they won, but Seattle wasn't home, and the Cardinals didn't have D-Hop. Now it's in Arizona, and they do have D-Hop. But D-Hop's had like back-to-back 10 reception, 100-yard games. And then the game against the Vikings are one of the best teams in the NFC. And that was close. That was a real close one. Just like some punt return things, stuff on special teams, and a couple Kyler interceptions that ended that game. But Seattle, I feel like they can beat Seattle at home with D-Hop.
I heard. Yeah, they were close. Close only counts in horseshoes and grenades. It don't count in football. So they can be close all they want to, as long as Seattle close it out. See what I did with that double?
That was nice. That was nice.
Seattle's going to close it out against this team, and it may be close, but Seattle will get that victory.
Okay. All right. The beauty of this is it will all be settled on Sunday, and we will see how everything shakes out. And I'm sure there may be some videos sent and a whole lot of good fun, good-natured action going on. And then, of course, it'll be rehashed here a little bit next week. So,
yeah.
Good.
And you know what? I was getting ready to send you guys back a video last week when Detroit was up. And I said, you know what? I'm going to hold off on that video because this is Detroit. And you know what? I'm glad I did, because Detroit, they became Detroit again, and I would look like a total fool if I would sent the video that I was thinking I was going to send to you guys about Detroit being up. So, I'm glad I was patient so you couldn't post that nowhere. And this guy.
I wouldn't have done that to you, Des. Wouldn't have done that to you.
Nah, somebody would have just hacked your account or something like that. And
if that, I wouldn't have been able to help that. Yeah, wouldn't have been able to help that. All right. Well, hey, man, this is exciting. I'm even more excited to check these games out. There's a lot on the line. What's going to happen? Am I going to be a genius? Am I going to be a fool? Is it too much Heineken? We're going to see. It's going to be awesome. Great points all around, and it's going to be fun to talk about it more in a week. So, Des, again, we thank you for your time. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us, and we'll see you and everybody else next week. Until then, we are out. Pick 'em pros.
Yes, sir.
Tavares Jordan.